Hey there, it's Sam with another Friday video for you. Hope everyone's doing well, having a great week, and happy Veterans Day also to any who served out there. Thought I should open up by saying that. It's November, and that means a couple things other than Veterans Day. Um, it's November. That means for some of you, NaNoWriMo, National Novel Writing Month, so that's pretty cool. Um, if you're doing that, I salute you also. I'm not doing it this year, but I know it's hard. I know it's a challenge in your November. I'm focused more on editing existing content and finishing this round than writing this content than writing right now. So I'm not doing it this year. Maybe next year I will. I'm not sure yet. Anyway, those who are doing NaNoWriMo, I salute you, and keep doing what you're doing. It's hard work, but it's coming along. You're doing well. Um, November, of course, also means Thanksgiving. Like I go through all the big holidays and all the big events in November. Obviously, Thanksgiving is one of them. And today I'm going to talk about an exercise in thankfulness that I think writers can benefit from. And I'll come back to that and tell you, um, how this connects. But yeah, so I was, excuse me. There you go. Okay. I was, whenever I finish a book, either fiction or nonfiction, and I talk mostly about fiction on here, though I am trying to read a good balance of both. I don't talk about the nonfiction as much because I'm not writing nonfiction, but I still consume a decent bit of it. Um, Whenever I'm going to finish reading a book, there's either fiction or nonfiction. There's usually an acknowledgments page at the end, and I guess I finished one a few days ago, so maybe that's why I was thinking of it fresh in my mind. Where the writer thanks everyone who's been a part of this. Usually, obviously, family and friends, but often, editors, publishers, people they've worked with, people who have helped them along the way, fans who have supported them, things like that. And I sometimes skip over those. I mean, I usually at least try to skim them because it's something that's interesting. But then a lot of times it's just a list of names who I don't really know anything about, and so it's not always exciting. I don't always read it word for word, but I usually try to at least skim it and see if there's like anyone else I know on there, like other famous people who I know of, or just it's kind of sometimes cool to see who the author gives credit to and what they think is worth mentioning there. And I've kind of envisioned, I've had it in my head, like I've imagined, when I get published, who will I include on my acknowledgments page? Some of you are published already. That's great. You may have written an acknowledgments page already, or something like this, just giving thanks to everyone who's helped you on your journey. As you guys know, I'm not published yet. I'm on the journey, hoping to start querying in the new year, maybe. Um, but yeah, I've kind of had it in the back of my mind up to this point, like when I do get published, or whether that's self-published or something else, I've kind of asked myself and pictured in my mind, who am I going to say thank you to? Who am I going to acknowledge? And I had this idea stirring in my head for a few days, and I was like, you know what? Who says I have to wait till I get published? So just a little exercise for me. I mean, nothing like life changing necessarily, but um, last night I took the time to write out my acknowledgments page and just people who I wanted to thank and write out not just a list of names, but like a paragraph format of thank this person for helping me in this part of my journey. Specifically focused on my writing and my book. I didn't think everyone who has helped me in my life for anything, but specifically focused on my book. And you know I'm sure when and if I publish, I'll probably need to update it because but by that point there'll be more people who have helped me out and such. But I was just like, I at least want to thank these people, and be grateful for them and have a list of them and know roughly what I'm gonna say. That's just me. I like, when things are bouncing around in my head for a while, I like to eventually write them out because that helps me, just focus and have things on paper in front of me or screen in front of me. But yeah, last night I wrote my acknowledgements page for like, I don't know, just a page and a half, thanking, well, a lot of people, but like my parents for not only introducing me to reading and writing, but my dad also introduced me to superheroes, which my story is a superhero story, and it's been a long time a love of mine. I think some of my favorite superhero writers, comic book writers, up to this point, it's way too many to thank all of them. I thanked the people, my high school English teacher, and creative writing teacher, who let me write about superheroes in class, and some of my friends who had written and contributed to early drafts of my manuscript, and then those in our writers group that we had a few years ago who helped me was giving feedback, and then my editor who has worked with me recently and stuff like that. And I was like, all these people need to be on this list, and maybe more once when I actually publish, and I'll probably have more people helping me along with that step too. But all these people, all these people need to be on my list, and either whether they see it now or in a few years or whatever, I want to make sure that they are the ones who get thanked. So yeah, I wrote that out. It's a good exercise in thankfulness. It's a good way to remember who's helped you and who you should be grateful for and everything. So I would encourage you. I mean, I know you're busy with NaNoWriMo and everything like that, and everyone has lots of things to do. If you have a free, I don't know, 30 minutes or an hour one day, especially over the holiday season, over the Thanksgiving season, and you've been trying to get into the Thanksgiving mood, and you need to do some writing activities or something. Write out your acknowledgments page if you never have before, or even if you have before. I mean, it doesn't hurt to write out a list of people to be thankful for, but even if you never have before, even if you're not publishing yet, even if it's only you who's going to see it for a while, write out an acknowledgments page, or I mean, you can call it a thank you list if you want, but acknowledgments page is kind of the term we authors use. But write that out just so you can have a record for yourself of who has helped you on your journey and who you want to thank, and then whether it's now or later or in print form or not, whatever. Make sure you thank those people and make sure you express gratitude to them for the contributions they've made to your life and your work and your journey. I posted a video some months back. You can go search for this one if you want. Search for this episode. It said like the one thing every writer needs to be successful, and yeah, I know that headline is kind of clickbaity, but the thing I said was a supportive community, and I got that from reading a book on the Inklings called Bandersnatch by, I'm trying to give credit to the author. I believe it was Diana Pelvat Glyer or something like that. Anyway, you can Google it, Bandersnatch. You can find the episode that I talked about. But she wrote about how the original Inklings, like Lewis and Tolkien, and those guys had their supportive community, and how pretty much any successful writer needs at least a supportive community in some form, whether that's fellow creatives who help you with your ideas, or just your family and friends who support you in your dreams, or some combination of both. But any successful writer, or any even halfway successful writer, needs some kind of supportive community to help them along the way. So that's all I got. It's not going to be a super deep video today. Just a challenge and an exercise if it helps you. Um, Remember those who you need to be thankful for. Remember those who have helped you on your journey. Writing out an acknowledgments page if you never have before can be a good way to do it. I wrote one out last night just because it was on my mind for whatever reason, and even though I'm not going to publish for maybe next year, maybe a year after that, not sure. It depends on how things go. Even though it's not an official one yet, I just wanted to have a record or a document for myself at least of, hey, these people helped me and I'm thankful for them. So yeah, hope that helps you. Hope you're finding a lot of things to be thankful for in this season. Hope that you're able to spend the time with loved ones and family and friends. Remember to be grateful. We have much to be grateful for. I mean, I focused specifically on writing work here, but beyond that, there's so much to be grateful for in my life and yours too, I'm sure. So thank you for listening. Thank you for watching. I'm grateful to you, the fans, the listeners, for being here and just supporting me on this journey. And yeah, I mean, I'll see you again before Thanksgiving, but still, hope you have a wonderful Thanksgiving and November and weekend. Bye, everyone.